An extra innings loss to the Rockies late on Friday night. The Cubs are back at it tonight, and you can watch the game right here on Comcast SportsNet. Mike Montgomery will get his first start for the Cubs tonight in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Well, hello and welcome everyone to SportsNet Central, presented by Comcast Business. It was a late night in the Mile High City. We'll show you what you missed in a dramatic and wild game Friday for the Cubs. Plus, 6 Notre Dame football players have been arrested on Friday night, and our Irish insider tells us how that may impact them in the season opener. Plus, the most dominant team in Olympics history continues their run, and the other team backing up Chris Bryant. It's all coming your way on SportsNet Central starting now.
To SportsNet Central, presented by Comcast Business.
We begin with this CSN News alert. 6 Notre Dame players were arrested in 2 separate incidents Friday night and early this morning in Indiana. Senior Max Redfield, sophomores Tavon Coney and Dexter Williams, redshirt freshman Ashton White, and freshman Kevin Stefferson were all arrested on a misdemeanor charge of possession of marijuana. Redfield, Stefferson, and Williams were also booked on an additional charge of possession of a handgun without a license. Senior Devin Butler, who's recovering from a foot injury, was also arrested early Saturday morning and booked into the St. Joseph County Jail on a preliminary charge of battery to a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest, which are both felonies. With the latest on these arrests, we bring in our Notre Dame insider, JJ Stankovich. JJ, let's start with the Devin Butler arrest. That appears to be the more serious of the 2 incidents. How do you expect the school to proceed with his case?
Well, Kelly, Devin Butler, it's important to note, has not been charged with either of the felonies he was preliminarily charged with. For the prosecution, they're waiting about 72 hours. They have until August 24th to continue evaluating this case and gathering some more facts before deciding to press formal charges or not against Devin Butler. If anyone's charged with a felony, that would be grounds for expulsion from the university, but we still don't know if that's the case right now.
Okay, well, the incident with the other 5 players appears to be a little less serious, but they're clearly facing a possible suspension. How has the school handled cases like this in the past?
Well, we haven't seen anything involving possession of a firearm like the 3 players in Fulton County were charged with. It is only a misdemeanor. I spoke with an official at the Fulton County Jail who confirmed that all the crimes that those 5 players are charged with were only misdemeanors. So we'll see. For misdemeanors, Notre Dame usually doesn't go over the top harsh, but given the extenuating circumstances of this, it would be kind of a surprise if any of these 5 players did play against Texas.
Okay, well, speaking of that, let's say they are all suspended for the season opener against Texas. Which loss would impact the team the most?
Well, it's got to be Max Redfield. He's the only starter of this group of 6 players here. Would enter his 3rd year as a starter for Notre Dame at free safety. A guy who has been maligned a little bit, has had some communication issues in the back end. If he doesn't start, it'll be freshman Devin Studstill, a former 3-star recruit, who did earn a lot of praise during spring practice for the ability that he had to pick up the very complicated defense that Notre Dame has. But even without Max Redfield, even if Devin Studstill is picking up the defense as quickly as everyone said he is, that's a loss of a big-time starting player for Notre Dame.
Okay, well, aside from what happened Friday night, what are the expectations for Notre Dame this season? It seems like from the outside looking in, very high, but inside that locker room, what are they hoping for this season?
I think inside the locker room, they believe that they can be a playoff team. A lot of things have to come together. Coaches will admit that the wide receiver position still has to come together behind Torrey Hunter Jr. there. The defense that really has struggled the last couple of years with any sort of consistency under Brian Van Gorder, that still needs to come together. Crete Monet alum Niles Morgan is going to be a big part of that at Mike linebacker. For Notre Dame, I think every year you have to go in expecting to make the playoff. They've pulled in really good recruiting classes over the last couple of years, and we'll see if that pays off this year.
JJ, we appreciate your time and look forward to following up on all of this and all your work on csnchicago.com. Thank you. Switching gears, Joe Madden and company will continue their series with the Rockies tonight here on Comcast SportsNet. The two battled one another and Mother Nature into the wee hours last night. And for those of you that missed it, we'll get you caught up to speed real quick. A 2.5-hour rain delay meant the Cubs and Rockies didn't even get underway until just before 10 p.m. last night. But despite the downtime, Dexter Fowler was ready to roll at first pitch when that tarp came off. We know the former Rocky has made some memories in Coors Field since joining the Cubs. Let's rewind the clock. This is April 12th, 2015, ninth inning, down by 1, tying run aboard. Fowler launched his first home run as a Cub to right field off LaTroy Hawkins, and it was a game-winning shot to boot. What would he do in his next at-bat?
Driven deep and gone! Leadoff homer, Dexter Fowler.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yeah, Fowler has a knack for the first inning home run this season. His last 5 round trippers have all been first inning shots. Fowler's 10th comes 2 pitches in, and the Cubs lead in a blink. Kyle Hendricks has been sensational lately, a 1.22 ERA over his last 11 outings. Could he keep that going in hitter-friendly Coors Field? First man up, David Dahl. He's been on a roll, and he would continue, even against Hendricks, who's been so good. Colorado's leadoff man matches Fowler's leadoff blast. But that'd be the only run allowed by Hendricks in the game. We move ahead to the third. Anthony Rizzo at the dish. An RBI opportunity for him. He singles back up the middle off Tyler Anderson. Hendricks is around from second. The throw to the plate looks like it's in time. Hendricks avoids the tag. But check out home plate umpire here. Never makes a call as Hendricks crosses the plate. Or did he? That's because he didn't touch it. So casually, as you see him there, strolls back to the dish without drawing attention and steps on the bag. Has to laugh about it a little bit there with Jorge Soler, but the run does count, and it's 2-1 Cubs. Fast forward to the 6th, still a close ball game. Addison Russell at the plate, looking to drive in some insurance, and he does just that with this. Left field seats it is. 2-run dinger. Russell's 15th of the season puts the Cubs up by 4. Hendricks done after 6 innings, but the banged-up Cubs bullpen would try to protect the lead, and they had a hard time doing it. Travis Wood, first out of the pen, surrenders 2 hits and a walk, so Joe Madden goes to Carl Edwards Jr. next. After allowing 2 inherited runs to score, Edwards had the tall task of facing Nolan Arenado, and with the tying run on third, Arenado lifts it to left. Matt Caesar, the catch, the throw home, and it just beats DJ LeMahieu, but the umpires would take another look, and LeMahieu not only slid under the tag, but Contreras also blocked the dish here. So Colorado plates the tying run. Hendricks no longer in line for the win, and the Rockies force extras at Coors. Cubs half of the 11th. Remember that Fowler guy, the one from earlier? Well, he was up with 2 on and 2 out, and loops an RBI single into shallow center there. Contreras scores from second. Cubs push across the go-ahead run off the bat of Dexter Fowler. High fives, yes indeed. Aroldis Chapman will come out of the pin in the 11th for the Cubs. Could he hold down the win? A man on first for Ryan Rayburn, and he smacks a breaking ball the other way here, goes off the wall and right. Hundley coming around from first. On the relay throw towards third, the ball goes out of play. Rayburn would then take his extra base, and the Rockies come from behind a couple times to steal one in, bizarre fashion. 7-6 the final. So despite not picking up his 12th win, Hendricks does have this going for him. The righty, now the best ERA in the majors. There's the list. Hendricks atop of it with a 2.16 ERA. Clayton Kershaw's back injury means the Dodgers lefty at 1.79 no longer qualifies. Jason Hamill, Jake Arrieta not far behind, each with an ERA of 2.75 this season. From one starter to another, here's Joe Madden on tonight's pitcher, Mike Montgomery.
I think he's going to be. I like him as a starter. I mean, we've all been watching this very closely, and when he first came over here, they're doing a couple relief outings. He threw the ball pretty well, but the more we stretch him out, and the longer he's been here, he's more comfortable. And it looks like the command's gotten better, the curveball strike's gotten better, just his whole confidence level's gotten greater. So I really think he could be a fine major league starter. Not just okay, really good.
Speaking of really good, in just his 2nd season, Chris Bryant is considered the front runner for the NL MVP, and part of his success at the pro level has to do with what he learned in college. We'll have that story leading you up to game time in Colorado. It's all coming your way on Comcast SportsNet.
SportsNet Central brought to you by Comcast Business. Comcast Business, built for business.
200 million watching history be made, 2 million making their own, 5 seconds gained, and a nomination won. When it counts, the biggest moments count on Comcast Business, with $5,000 of NBC coverage for the games, over 900 miles of fiber laid for the Democratic National Convention, 40 pit stalls monitored at once for NASCAR, and 10 terabytes of data transferred for the big game at Levi's Stadium. We know what it takes to connect millions. Imagine what Comcast can do for your business.
The best things in life are free.
Choose excitement.
But you can give them to
Choose
the
action.
B&Bs.
Choose Hollywood Casinos and you've already won. 2 Chicagoland locations with more of the games you want, more of the generous rewards you deserve, and celebrations that shine all night. That's the kind of star power that can take you places. Hollywood Casino, Aurora, and Joliet. There's no place like Hollywood.
This is our magnificent mile and a half. These are our monsters of the Speedway. And this is our kind of town. This is Chicagoland Speedway, the Windy City's home for racing and summer's last big party. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup starts here. Get your tickets now at ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
It's Al Pavati Ford's Blowout Extravaganza. Right now, you can buy a Ford Focus for $100 down and only $169 a month. Or get 0% financing for 72 months, plus get up to $2,750 back.
That was it, $100 down.
I paid $100 down and only $169 a month.
Get the car you want with over 1,000 cars to choose from and the lowest prices of the year. The Blowout Extravaganza event.
Going on now at the original Al Pavati Ford Melrose Park, 25th and North Avenue.
It's 4-0. That's number 29 for Chris. Breaking ball was elevated, and Bryant's got another hit. Fly to center. Way back toward the wall. Gone! Nothing better than a triple. That will get into left. What a day for Bryant. 5 for 5.
It's his turn now to hear the MVP chants from this crowd.
No sophomore slump for Chris Bryant. The young slugger picked up right where he left off following his Rookie of the Year campaign in 2015. His next step forward, finding himself a front-runner for the National League MVP this year. A progression that took him to his second Midsummer Classic, this time in San Diego, where Bryant had a chance to visit his old collegiate stomping grounds. And it was at the University of San Diego that Bryant played under head coach Rich Hill, a mentor he says played a huge role in his maturation and development as a player.
The first thing that comes to mind is class, humility, respect, and leadership, you know, and he just embodies all of that, I think above, you know, all his great baseball skills, which are, you know, awesome, as we all know.
It means a lot to me, and I've always said that the best 3 years of my life were at University of San Diego, and they've just done so much for me, and they continue to do so much for me. So to be able to be, you know, on the face of their programs, I mean, it humbles me. It just makes me feel, you know, proud to have gone to that school and proud to help them out in any way I can.
He has always been so thankful and so grateful of his time here at USD and for the coaches and his teammates. And you know, that's special. Not everybody is like that. In fact, it's extremely rare.
Something else that's rare and rather unique are the similarities between Rich Hill and Joe Maddon. The pair both use uncharacteristic approaches off the field to try and gain success on it. And in his first couple years here in the majors, Chris Bryant has seen just about everything imaginable under Joe Maddon. But before that, as a student athlete at the University of San Diego, he took part in Hill's visualization techniques that he says from time to time he still uses to this day here in the Bigs.
And sometimes when times are not what I want them to be, I kind of fall back to what I've learned in college and you know, the stuff I've learned there, and breathing breathing techniques, and we knocked it out before every game. We would sit down in a circle and go through our breathing sessions, and honestly, it helped me a lot in college. So I would kind of be foolish not to kind of use that in the biggest stage in baseball.
He was fortunate enough to go to an organization like the Cubs with Joe Madden, who is exactly, the same, only better at it, than we are here, So I think that's why he's able to, really thrive, in today's environment where there's so much social media and so much scrutiny on him.
Number 3, full house time, baby. Double, homer, double, homer.
What a show. What a show.
As quickly as Bryant ascended into one of the game's premier players, his college coach believes his star is only rising. In fact, in a city where Michael Jordan has reigned as king, Rich Hill thinks Chris Bryant is next in line to take over the Chicago throne.
When you're the best player on the team, there really comes a responsibility with that, wearing the crown. And you've seen it, in Chicago with Jordan. You guys have seen it, just most recently with LeBron James in the sport of basketball. And, Chris is going to be wearing that crown, one day.
You've mentioned, like, the greatest athletes to ever, walk this earth. But Coach Hill, he always talks about me in high regard, and it's just awesome to be around him. I mean, going to school there, the practices were difficult, and the homework was tough, and, there's a lot going on there. But just looking back on it and what I learned from that experience, and it just made me a much better person, and it's always good to hear kind words from the coach.
Those two will get to reunite in just a couple days when the Cubs head to San Diego. Well, now it's time for Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business, and we take a look at Chris Bryant's stats so far in August. In 16 games, he's hitting .379 with 4 home runs and 11 RBI. That's in addition to an impressive OPS of 1.105. That is Comcast Business, Built for Business. And Thursday, after Bryant's 5 for 5 day, Jake Arrieta was asked about his all-star third baseman and when he recognized what a special player Bryant would be.
Well, I told a lot of people when I was asked about him when he first was coming up into the league, and guys ask what he got on this guy. I told him he's gonna be one of the top 5 hitters in the game, the day he makes his debut. And I think that's pretty accurate. He's a great player. He's been able to play a lot of different roles, especially defensively for us. Very versatile. And he's one of our biggest role players. So to see him do what he has continued to do and do what he did today it's not a big surprise. Rizzo's a tremendous player. He's pretty much our MVP just about every year. But Chris is a very special guy.
After the break, highlights from Rio with just 2 days of competition left in these Olympic Games. Saturday saw one of the most dominant teams in history, the U.S. women's basketball team, going for yet another gold. We'll have highlights after this timeout.
200 million watching history be made, 2 million making their own, 5 seconds gained, and a nomination won. When it counts, the biggest moments count on Comcast Business, with $5,000 of NBC coverage for the games, over 900 miles of fiber laid for the Democratic National Convention, 40 pit stalls monitored at once for NASCAR, and 10 terabytes of data transferred for the big game at Levi's Stadium. We know what it takes to connect millions. Imagine what Comcast can do for your business.
The old dorm, if these walls could talk.
Stop hammer time!
I think the wall is talking.
MC Hammer? He can't touch this.
And when you're hanging in the dorm, you shouldn't touch this or this. Here, use command hooks instead. Hold strong, damage-free. Just peel, stick, and ta-da! Then when school is out, stretch command hook off and ta-da, ta-da!
Legit.
Still legit.
Oh.
What's happening?
Command, do no harm.
One day, a rider made a decision. The decision to ride on and save money. He decided to save money by switching his motorcycle insurance to Geico. There's no shame in saving money. Ride on. Ride proud. Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
My destiny said I belong in the city.
My destiny tried to tell me where to go.
They say everyone has a predetermined path, one we can't escape.
But my path, like my car, is my choice.
Visit MitsubishiCars.com and find the car for you.
Visit MaxMedicine.com. 0% for 72 to 84 months, plus rebates topping $1,500 and rebates and discounts from $5,500 to $7,500 at Max Medicine Mitsubishi Summer Clearance.
As the pennant races heat up, quench your baseball thirst by watching Bases Loaded on CSN. Join host Layla Rahimi for a half hour of Cubs and Sox talk, including team-by-team analysis, features, and more. Don't miss Bases Loaded tonight at 6:30 on CSN.
Tonight, it's time to break out the bats as the Cubs' high-powered attack goes on the offensive in Game 2 of the series. Watch them try to roll over the Rocks and score the road win. Cubs at Rockies, tonight at 7 on CSN Chicago.
NBC's Olympic coverage continues from Rio. Just a couple days of competition left, and one of the biggest events from the afternoon featured the United States women's basketball team taking on Spain in the gold medal game. Chicago Sky star Elena Delle Donne looking for her first ever gold medal, while the Americans aim to take home gold for a 6th straight Olympics. Team USA beat Spain by 40 points last time they played. Midway through the second quarter, USA up 12. Diana Taurasi takes the screen and drills the pull-up three there. She had 5 of those in the game. USA up 15. Final seconds of the first. Maya Moore steals the pass to start the fast break. That's Lindsay Whalen with a one-handed bounce pass for the buzzer-beating lay-in. Whalen had 17 in the game. Third quarter, USA up 22. The Sky's very own Elena Delle Donne. Nice dribble spin, hits the pretty jumper. She had 10, and Team USA wins their 6th straight gold and 49 games in a row dating back to 1992, the final 101-72. Well, we previewed Gwen Jorgensen's road to Rio here on Comcast SportsNet, and this morning she captured the country's first gold in the triathlon since it became a sport in 2000. She won with a time of 1 hour, 56 minutes and 16 seconds, and the Waukesha, Wisconsin native adds a gold medal to her back-to-back world triathlon titles in 2014 and 2015. Very impressive. Well, the U.S. Olympic Committee confirmed today that gymnast Simone Biles will be the flag bearer during the closing ceremonies on Sunday night. Biles won 5 medals, including 4 gold during the Rio Games. She was fun to watch. And now to the main event of the evening. Host Brazil playing Germany for gold in men's soccer. What an event on home soil. Scoreless in the 27th minute. Free kick for Brazil. And Neymar going to curl it in with a beautiful strike. The crowd, as you would expect, goes wild for the native sons. Brazil up 1-0. We head to a penalty kick shootout tied at 1 on Germany's 4th kick. Nils Peterson denied by Weverton. That means Brazil can win gold on their next attempt. Who is it? Of course, Neymar. Going to step up for a huge kick, and he buries the winner. Brazil earned soccer gold. 5-4 the final on penalties. Oh my goodness, dramatic. We're back with a look at the fire in action as we take you to the top of the hour. Cubs and Rockies are coming your way at 7 p.m. right here on CSN.
Why are you checking your credit score?
You don't want to live with mom and dad forever, do you?
Boo!
Well, I'm not changing.
So how can I check my credit score?
Credit Karma. Don't worry, it's free.
Credit Karma. Give yourself some credit. Your business needs a lot of speed, but getting it doesn't have to break the bank. Introducing the Comcast Business Summer Savings Event. Now you can get a lot for a little as a cup of coffee and donut a day. Fast internet speed to drive performance, plus cutting-edge Wi-Fi for your employees and customers, and voice mobility so your calls find you wherever you are. Get some of our most advanced products at a great price with over $500 in savings. Call today and ask how to get these savings plus a $250 prepaid card. Comcast Business, built for business.
Attention, type 2 diabetics. According to the FDA, the drug Invokana may lead to diabetic ketoacidosis. If you or someone you love took Invokana and suffered ketoacidosis, you may be entitled to compensation. Ketoacidosis can cause kidney failure, coma, and even death. Call the law firm of Avram Blair & Associates right now for a free consultation.
Call 800-286-5089. That's 800-286-5089.
The Fire travel to Montreal for an Eastern Conference matchup later tonight, and you can catch all the action on our CSN Plus channel. Kickoff coming your way in just a few minutes. 6:30, the Men in Red try to earn their first 3 road points of the 2016 season. These two teams met earlier this season at Toyota Park, with the Impact scoring a late goal for a 2-1 win. But the Fire players know the MLS season, a daily grind.
We only think on the next game. The next game is the most important. We want to win every game. We give more than 100% for every game. So maybe it's this game, and we will give everything we have.
When you go back home, you think about, wow, we haven't won on the road for a long time. So for us, that's why we train every day. We want to train harder, and we're trying to correct that mistake again. And for us, we have another big opportunity on Saturday. So that's another chance to get it right. So there's always an opportunity for us. So we need to be mentally stronger every day.
Coming up next, it's Bases Loaded with a preview of the Cubs and Rockies. We play Fact or Fiction with David Kaplan, and the Sox Adam Eaton tells us exactly how he stays free and easy in the batter's box. Well, thank you so much for watching Comcast SportsNet, presented by Comcast Business. Bases Loaded with Layla Rahimi is next. Have a great evening, everyone.
The Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation and the Bona family have teamed up to knock cancer out of the park. Order your Italian beef the Rizzo way, and Bona will donate to my charity. I'm proud to be working with the Cubs and the Bona family, 2 Chicago originals.
Order it the Rizzo way at your local Bona restaurant.
DirecTV is at it again with another so-called deal. With a $60 intro rate that jumps to over $100 after just 3 months, then shoots up to over $150 after a year. The hits just keep on coming because you're locked into a 2-year contract that can cost over $3,300. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Switch to an X1 double play from Comcast and lock in your rate for 2 full years. Call or go online today.
Come into Steak and Shake for hand-dipped milkshakes. Better yet, come into Steak and Shake for hand-dipped milkshakes at half price during Half Price Happier Hour. Weekdays, now 2 to 5 at Steak and Shake. New at Steak and Shake, 24 meals under $4 with handcrafted steak burgers, all beef footlongs, and fresh guacamole made from scratch. Get 24 meals for under $4. New at Steak and Shake.
Your home, your auto. They just go together. Combine your home and auto insurance with State Farm. Save time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to your State Farm agent today.
It's Nissan's Bottom Line Summer Event. Take on the unexpected and take home a winner. Get to Nissan for big model year-end offers on our award-winning lineup like Altima, Rogue, and Sentra. All 2016 IIHS top safety picks. Hurry, these offers end soon. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or get a low $189 per month lease on Rogue.
There you have it, folks. It's the greatest Stuggle play ever.
Get 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $6.99 each. Add any 4 20-ounce Pepsi-Cola products for just $5.
Papa John's, the official pizza of Major League Baseball.
To Bases Loaded. I'm Layla Rahimi, and this is our half-hour show as we lead you up to first pitch between the Rockies and the Cubs. Thank you once again for joining me as we serve up 30 minutes of nothing but baseball. David Kaplan joins me to talk Cubs. Chuck Garfien and Bill Melton will be here, along with Adam Eaton as well. And if you thought you had a late night last night, 2 baseball teams and their fans took their show to the early morning. This is how it all ended last night after finally starting the game at 9:48 p.m. Central Time in the 11th. Nick Hundley on board via a single off of Aroldis Chapman and then Ryan Rayburn. It ended up being an RBI double off of Chapman because Javi Baez's throw to Wilson Contreras was way off the mark, ruled an error, and thusly that RBI double for the former Cleveland Indian as Hundley scores and the Rockies win 7-6. And that is where we find our weary announcers. They don't look it, though. Len Casper, Jim DeShays. The first game of this series ended at about 1:35 this morning Central Time, and you guys back at the park today. Guys, the Cubs have played their fair share of extra inning games this year. But to come back after a 2-hour and 10-minute rain delay and then have extra innings, where does that rank this season as far as having to fight through it?
Well, you know what, Layla? I was talking with Chris Bosio, the Cubs pitching coach. He said probably the last thing you wanted to start a road trip was long rain delay and extra innings at altitude, and that's exactly what happens. But it's the big leagues. You just got to go right back out there.
Yeah, and we'll add one more piece to the equation. Long rain delay, extra innings at altitude with a spot starter going the next day, and Mike Montgomery, and they're probably only going to ask 3 innings for Mike. If they get 4, they'll be very happy. So it's a short bullpen they're dealing with, and the bullpen is going to have to cover some innings in this game here tonight. So, you know, in the NBA, the cliche is knowing how to lose, and I think that applies sometimes too when teams come in here to Coors Field, because you can burn through your bullpen, and it could have ramifications for a week or 10 days.
Yeah, you guys are right. There's perhaps no better example of that than the Rockies themselves historically and always shuffling arms in and out. Now, speaking of altitude, Aroldis Chapman didn't have quite the zip we're used to seeing him have. He threw a lot of sliders, though. His slider's very impressive. But is there a chance that the altitude may have affected Chapman last night?
You know, without asking him specifically, nobody knows for sure. But I think if you consider all the circumstances we just mentioned, it was really cold last night, and you've got a reliever who had to sit out there for 4 or 5 hours. It just had the feel of that kind of night, and we've seen so many walk-offs here over the years. The Rockies, having the last at bat here is huge.
Yeah, because there's so many runs scored in this ballpark, and funky things happen here because there's so much open real estate in the outfield. Balls in play become very dangerous, and that's why Chapman's such a good weapon, because usually you rely on him in keeping the ball out of play with the strikeout pitch. I think the sliders last night primarily are the function of Ryan Rayburn, the guy who got the game-winning hit. Rayburn, a very good fastball hitter and good against left-handed fastball. So I think that's why they threw a little more. They saw a little more slider from Chapman than you normally see.
Yeah, he was always highly used via Terry Francona when he was with the Indians against lefties. Now, we got to see Felix Pena and Rob Zastrinski last night. Zastrinski was the first pitcher drafted in the Theo Epstein era. So what's the significance of seeing him pitch in the big leagues?
Well, I think that this regime would tell you it's very tough to find young pitchers, develop them, and get them to the big league level. And the paradigm here mostly has been to go out and get pitchers from elsewhere. In the case of Kyle Hendricks, they got him when he was an unknown from the Texas organization. But, yeah, it's a nice feather in the cap, I think, for Jason McLeod that as Zrinski finally made his major league debut, as tough as it is to say his last name.
Congratulations to you and to you, for saying that correctly. I'm just going to stick with Rob Z. It was good to see him get in there. He had to navigate through a tough inning. He was working in the middle part of the Rockies batting order. He survived it, didn't give up a run. Pena, very impressive in his one inning of work with a couple of punch-outs. And because of the issues we discussed earlier, kind of a short bullpen, injuries to Strop and Rondon, these guys may get some high-leverage chances of moving forward.
Like Rob Z, I hope you guys enjoy the temperate weather in Denver. Len and JD, thank you for joining me on Bases Loaded.
Thanks, Layla.
Now, despite the early morning loss to the Rockies, the Cubs are still winners of 18 of their last 22 games. Joe Maddon's crew is batting .270 with 26 homers over those last 22. And Cubs pitching has been maybe even more impressive, posting a .233 team ERA with 18 quality starts. I am now happy to be joined by our Cubs pre- and post host, David Kaplan. All right, Cap, it is time for a little game, of course, of Cubs fact or fiction. We're going to start with Chris Bryant. After the amazing week he's had, will he win the National League MVP, fact or fiction?
I'm going to go that is fact, simply because when you go 5 for 5 twice in a season, you have a 3-home run game, you have a 2-home run game yesterday, you homer off Chris Sale in the All-Star game, you do so many things that garner so much national attention that I'd say he's probably the favorite. Yet I'm not sure if you look at some of the analytical numbers that he should get it over Anthony Rizzo. But I'll go fact, Chris Bryant wins the MVP.
Now, Coors Field is usually a happy place for hitters. A lot of guys break out there. They have good games there. But Jason Hayward got the series off against the Rockies, so fact or fiction, getting a couple days off will help him.
I think anything will help him right now to try and fix what ails him. I've been saying for weeks, give him 4 or 5 straight days off. Just go to the cage and work with John Maley or bring in Todd Hollandsworth, who's one of the great hitters in Coors Field history, and do something to correct some of the mechanics of the swing. So I will say yes, this will help him, and this is a good thing for him.
And finally, Cap, it's time for a little Hamill time. Jason Hamill is pitching as well as we've ever seen him. So fact or fiction, he has earned a postseason start this year.
Layla, that is fact. Now, he may not get one, but with John Lackey on the DL, Jason Hamill deserves an opportunity to start in the postseason. He's been magnificent pitching as well as anybody in the National League since the All-Star game. So with Lackey a little bit with the bulky shoulder, I got to say it's fact that Jason Hamill deserves a start. Doesn't mean he'll get one.
And one more fact. We enjoy having you on Bases Loaded, Cap.
You're the best.
Oh, it's like a fist bump, but different. Cap, thanks so much. I love it. We have a new thing. To the Southsiders we go. In the state of Eaton, Adam has been consistent and one of the best White Sox everyday players this season. He is batting .276 with 130 hits in 120 games this season, and his 17 outfield assists are the best in the bigs. We go to U.S. Cellular Field for our special guest. It is Adam Eaton of the White Sox. Adam, thank you for joining me. I want to go back a couple of days and start with your grand slam on Wednesday against Cleveland. You were blowing a bubble while you hit the ball. I've heard of playing free and easy at the plate, but that is extraordinary. Did you even know you were doing it when you hit the ball?
Well, absolutely not. It's all about free and easy. I was probably the exact opposite. I was very stressed, bases loaded, 1 out, late in the game, wanted to get done for my team. And I was more focused on not looking like a fool with 2 strikes. And sometimes when you simplify things and just try to put the, barrel on the ball, first and foremost, hitting a home run is different, and then, like I said, or like you said, blowing a bubble all in the meanwhile was pretty different. I didn't really expect that, but sometimes you do crazy things, unconsciously. So worked out. Glad we got the win, and nice to be able to have my first Grand Slam underneath my belt.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to watch. Obviously, now we could not tell on TV, at least, if you did the cradle the baby move or not. But you guys have definitely had some fun stuff this year. And there's that when you jump into someone's arms. And then I love the shirt that just came out recently with your face on it that says, "We out here eatin', fam." So how did the carrying move and also the shirt come to be?
When I had my first Braden in April, and Sanchi is, I don't know if he calls me a baby or what it is, but with having a newborn and Sanchi wants to put me in my place and make sure that I'm still a child, and he rocks me. So that's kind of our thing, and in the T-shirt. I'm not sure. There's T-shirts that kind of pop up every now and again, and I'm honored. As a kid and growing up, you never really expect anybody to, put as much effort into making a T-shirt about yourself. So, like I said, I'm honored and blessed that they took the time to do that, and it's pretty neat.
Got to give your wife some credit as well. Of course, we were giving you lots of congratulations upon the birth of your child, and she was really impressive herself to be able to throw out a pitch with the baby.
Yeah, no, she's, I'm over my skis, to say the least. She's definitely the backbone of our family. But yeah, to come out, I think it was maybe three weeks or so after he was born, arm, baby in arm, and, throwing out the first pitch with the other arm was pretty impressive. But like I said, she does so much behind the scenes to support me in my dream, and support a family all on top of it. Like I said, I've been blessed with the woman that I have in my life, and like I said, I'm extremely blessed. I couldn't think of anybody else better to spend the rest of my life with.
Well, if there's one thing I know, it's that there's a very strong chance your child is going to be excellent at multitasking. Now, Adam, you've had some amazing catches in the outfield this year. 21 defensive runs saved. That's so impressive. How do you describe what you've done with the glove this year?
It all starts with spring training. Coming into spring training, the addition of Austin Jackson there in the middle of spring training. Daryl Boston, myself, Austin, kind of came together at that time and said, we need to, make this transition to right field as smooth as possible. Austin, being such a great outfielder that he has really instilled confidence in me to be able to make certain plays that normally I wouldn't be able to make with, someone else in center. He was tremendous being able to, cover my back in certain situations. Again, from allowing me to be aggressive in others. And then, like I said, with Daryl Boston, a lot of extra time. A lot of time spent, at the field, covering, all scenarios. Every new ballpark I go to, I've played center, of course, and you have to worry about two gaps and the fence behind you. But when you move to right, you got to, worry about an extra fence to the right of you, or excuse me, to the left of you. The tracks are all different. And in Cleveland, the track is, rubber, and you can't slide. To Fenway, it wraps around. So, going into each one of these parks, Daryl has had a lot of patience with me and making sure that I'm comfortable out there in order to make the plays that I have.
Adam Eaton, you are doing great things and having a great season. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We are just getting started on Bases Loaded. Coming up, Jose Quintana and Chris Taylor, two of the best pitchers in the American League, and our Chuck Garfien and Bill Melton debate the two of them. Plus, Mike Montgomery is on the hill tonight for the Cubs, and our Kelly Kroll goes one-on-one with the pitcher ahead of his first start as a Cub. And let's take another look at Coors Field. Everybody, good news. The sun is out. So legit, we are about 26.5 minutes away from Game 3 of this series. So much more on Bases Loaded. I never get tired of that bullpen shot. We got more straight ahead.
I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We've prepared a Joe Madden Signature Edition vehicle. It will be raffled off at the end of the season, with the proceeds going to many of Joe's favorite charities.
But not before I have the pleasure of driving it to and from the ballpark. Thank you, Dan, and everyone at Fields Auto Group for this special vehicle and for making this all possible.
For official raffle rules and complete details on how you can win this Joe Madden Signature vehicle, go to fieldsauto.com.
It is an honor for Fields Auto Group to help good causes like Cubs Charities and Misericordia. Fields matters because you matter.
There you have it, folks. It's the greatest double play ever.
Get 2 medium two-topping pizzas for $6.99 each. Add any 4 20-ounce Pepsi-Cola products for just $5.
Papa John's, the official pizza of Major League Baseball.
Hey, Ralph Punzel.
Oh, hey, Ronnie.
Where are you headed?
Great Clips.
You're getting a haircut?
I checked in already. Using their online check-in.
I'm dying to check.
It saves you time.
You're getting a haircut.
Why? Thinking about applying to astronaut school.
That's cool.
Okay, I'll see you, Ronnie.
Save time every time. Download the online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Fix my heart and my broken bones. If I can stand up on my own, don't make me stand alone. Lift me up so I can see the light. When the sun goes down, I will lay in your arms tonight. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Your heart's been repaid.
These pizzas are the same, but depending on the day of the week, they aren't the same price. That's not right, so we're fixing it. Now you can carry out large 3-topping Domino's pizzas for $7.99 every day of the week.
Tonight, it's time to break out the bats as the Cubs' high-powered attack goes on the offensive in Game 2 of the series. Watch them try to roll over the Rocks and score the road win. Cubs at Rockies, tonight at 7 on CSN Chicago.
Welcome to Wrigley Field. And it is gone! We're tied! Rizzo gets on the top. He makes the catch. Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win!
So meanwhile at Wrigley Field, it is hashtag PJ Wrigley Day. Pearl Jam tweeted out this photo 2 hours ago. Anyone surprised if they see Jason Hamill report back? Now, Mike Montgomery is making his first start as a Chicago Cub tonight, and he's not the only one with a first. Jeff Hoffman is making his major league debut for the Rockies. Hoffman, the 41st overall prospect, according to MLB.com. Our Kelly Kroll caught up with Montgomery before he headed out to Colorado.
All right, well, Mike, making your first start as a Cubs, in a Cubs uniform, if you will, on Saturday in Denver nonetheless. What's the goal for you heading into that start?
Just go out there and give the team some innings, best I can. And, I've been a starter my whole career and everything except this year. So, I'll just go out there and try to put up as many zeros as I can until they take me out.
Are you looking forward to this opportunity? I know we've kind of spoken before, and you like the starting role. And, of course, you said you'll do whatever, but that's where you feel most comfortable, I think.
Yeah, I think it's most comfortable, but at the same time, I understand the situation here of, my role is going to be one that's probably going to be in the bullpen this year, and I'm fine with that. And it's, hey, if a situation arises where they need a starter, I know I can do it. And so, I think for me, I'm just trying to be as valuable as I can to the team. And, I think in this situation, they need a starter, and, I'm ready to go. And, I know how to prepare for it. I've done it, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been to Colorado. I haven't pitched there, and I'm definitely ready for the challenge. It's just about making good pitches, really. And I think as of late, I've really gotten settled down into what I know I'm good at, and I think just going out there and executing that is the important thing.
We saw Trevor Cahill come out here the other night in a spot start situation, and with what the starting rotation is doing, and you guys are filling in those roles, is there any added pressure that this baton keeps getting passed along, and we have a bar that's been set really high? We got to go out there and keep that going.
I wouldn't say there's added pressure. It's just, maybe a good challenge. Like, hey, everyone's going out there and doing their job. Like, I'm going to go out there and do the same thing. And, I'm looking forward to it. And, like you said, the offense is great. So, just try to go out there, put up some zeros, and let the offense do their thing.
What have we had now? Basically 2 to 3 weeks you've been in this clubhouse for the most part. What guy, what teammate of yours has surprised you the most? Whether it just be his work ethic, or he's funnier than you thought, or he's a goofball. Who have you gotten to know that you didn't know before that now you're like, wow, it's been nice to get to know him?
I would probably say 2 guys. Wood,
yep.
Who, I guess he's been here the longest out of any player, and just his routine and how consistent he is, it's pretty incredible. And he, he's very good at just what he does, and he knows what he does, and he stays in his routine, and that's a lot of fun to see. You see that from guys. It's kind of like, like that's why he's good. And then I would say with Noble, the bullpen catcher, I'll give him some props because he keeps it loose down there. He's good. He's a funny guy. So, and everyone's kind of got their own thing, and it's cool seeing that and coming in. I'm just trying to do my part, not trying to get in the way to so to speak. So it's just kind of go out there, have some fun, and help this team win.
Giving Chad Noble some props. Not many people know the bullpen catcher, but Travis, you mentioned him. He's a guy that's done the whole starter thing for this team and is now in a reliever role and has certainly become, he's excelling in that area, but he's also a pretty funny guy who told you you're not allowed to move when there's a foul ball headed your way in the bullpen here, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing here. And I did it the first time, and they got on me, and so I learned my lesson there, and he showed us by example last night, so he definitely showed us how it's done.
All right, well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck in Colorado.
Thank you.
Now back to the White Sox, and it is a 1-2 punch that most ball clubs would envy. The Sox have two of the best pitchers in the American League, in Chris Sale and Jose Quintana. Chuck and Bill are now here from White Sox Postgame Live, and it's time to make your case on Bases Loaded. Who has been the better pitcher for the White Sox this season, Chris Sale or Jose Quintana? Bill, you start first. We did miss you on Wednesday.
Well, this is going to be a tough one because these are two premier left-handers, probably in the top 5 in the American League for sure. I'm going to have to lean towards Quintana, and I say that because I've watched his work over the last 2 or 3 years, and I like consistency. Not to say Chris Sale doesn't have consistency, but he does. But this year he's a different type of pitcher. He's becoming a major league pitcher. He's not really going for the strikeouts and stuff, and I think he's making an adjustment, is why he's had a little trouble maybe his last 5 or 6 starts. But Quintana has pretty much got a delivery like not the late, but the old former Wilson Alvarez. That was, to me, one of the better left-handers the White Sox have had. So I put him in that category right there. But Chris Sale is the type of guy that, you know what, if you want to go see a no-hitter, you're going to pay money because you got a better chance with Chris Sale for that. But for consistency and a guy with a perfect delivery and a guy that goes out there and gives you a quality start about every time, I got to go with Quintana.
So Quintana has the lower ERA, and he's been pitching better lately, but I'm going with Chris Sale. Did you see who started the All-Star game for the American League? That was Chris Sale.
I forgot.
But he hasn't won a game in over a month, but I think part of the reason, actually I know part of the reason, is he's not getting much run support, and otherwise he'd have wins. He had one game where he pitched a complete game, gave up 1 hit, and got a no decision, and there's another game he had 10 Ks, gave up, I believe, 2 runs and got a loss. Chris Sale from start to finish this season, I think, has been better, slightly better than Jose Quintana.
Well, let's not forget Quintana was also on that All-Star team.
He was on but he didn't start, and he was an injury replacement.
Oh, is that what he was?
Yeah, that's what he was.
Yeah, still a good pitcher.
Yeah, okay, but he was an injury replacement because he is one of the most underrated pitchers in the American League. Also a dark horse candidate for a Cy Young. National guys giving him a lot of credit. I can't believe I'm saying this, but give me the consistency of Jose Quintana and Belton Bill Melton. Thrilling debate as always.
Well, Layla, you know your baseball, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to convince you.
I do what I can. I love talking about it.
This is being recorded. People are actually watching this. You realize that. And you guys went with Quintana. Just want to, for the record.
I have decided. My fake gavel is in hand. Gentlemen, as always, thank you for making your cases on Bases Loaded. It's good stuff, right? Now let's head to the south side. Chris Sale on the hill. Sox and A's. Top of the first, Marcus Semien takes the Sale offering deep to left field, but Melky Cabrera is tracking, and makes a fantastic catch before crashing into the wall. Cabrera's defense keeping the A's off the board early. Sox half of the first now. 2 outs, bases empty for Jose Abreu, and he clubs an opposite field solo shot just over the right field wall. That is his 15th home run of the season, giving the Sox a 1-0 lead. It is currently a 3-0 White Sox lead in the 3rd inning. We are getting you ready for first pitch between the Cubs and the Rockies from Coors Field here on Bases Loaded. Just over 16 minutes until first pitch. How about that? Mike Montgomery against Jeff Hoffman on Comcast SportsNet. More Bases Loaded coming up.
starts with the low Fields price, and then we include all of the Fields amenities at no extra charge.
And now, during the summer clearance event, get 0% APR financing for 60 to 84 months, or customer cash from $1,500 to $6,000 on select new models.
A low price and a whole lot more, like our Fields amenities that include free loaners, free car washes, and our Fields cafes.
The deal is always great, so it works out for me, works out for my pocket.
It's what we do. Fields matters because you matter.
Hey, I fix my heart and my broken bones. If I can't stand up on my own, don't make me stand alone. Lift me up so I can see the light. When the sun goes down, I will lay in your arms tonight. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Your heart's been repaid.
Now available for kids on DirecTV Cinema.
The wait is over.
Seriously?
For an eye-popping animated joyride, says Rolling Stone. It'll make you laugh, dance.
Well, this just got awkward.
And soar.
Fire!
It's the perfect family movie.
Oh my gosh.
The Angry Birds movie.
Find movies kids love on DirecTV Cinema.
Get up. What time is it?
I think I know what it's time for.
If your family is complete, the safest and most effective form of birth control is a vasectomy. Call today for a same-day consultation and procedure in one of our 3 state-of-the-art facilities.
Daddy, how are babies made?
I can tell you how they're not made.
Advanced Urology Associates. Safe, simple, and effective.
Time has come today at Berwyn Kia. Now's the time to save. Triple time savings on new Kia Fortes, Kia Rios, or the highest ranked compact multi-purpose vehicle in initial quality. The Kia Soul. Your choice, only $12,795 or $149 per month. And bad credit is no problem because we own the bank. We look at your future, not your past. Time to get approved. Berwyn Kia on Harlem and Ogden, just north of I-55 or berwynkia.com.
And finally, this great story. Reds reliever Michael Lorenzen could barely make it to the plate after recording the 3rd out of the 7th inning last night against the Dodgers. It was his first appearance after his father died, and when he was up to bat, hit a 3-run home run, the first of his career. He had to hold back tears while pointing to the sky and jogging around the bases, and got a curtain call as well. Reds manager Brian Price said after the game, quote, "If you stay in this game long enough, you still think you won't see anything like that. It was so improbable. It was majestic and poetic. The emotions were palpable and got stronger when he got to the dugout. The curtain call showed there was some awareness in the crowd." Amazing stuff. Moments like that are why we love sports. Thank you for watching Bases Loaded here on Comcast SportsNet. Cubs and Rockies comes your way next. Cubs post-game live with Kelly and Holly immediately following the game. Here's a look at the starting lineup. Thanks for watching.
Swinging out to Vegas for the weekend. Roll, just roll those dice.
It's all imported cheeses. This is a fondue party, Mike.
I realize that, Alan. Taco Bell has these new burritos with warm melted cheese in the center.
This is a Gorgonzola Gruyere medley.
This is a 3-cheese blend plus nacho cheese sauce medley.
The best way to serve warm melted cheese is in the center of a beefy burrito. New cheesy core burritos only at Taco Bell.
In banking and baseball, you have to stay alert. With my Bank of America mobile banking app, I can select alerts that notify me when unusual activity is detected on my credit and debit cards. I used to play when I was younger. I love the outfield. All that green grass. Until the championship and the inside the park home run. Sure could have used an alert then. I had missed lunch that day.
Jamie Foxx here for Verizon. According to a leading independent test of 108 top cities in the country, Verizon won the most consistently fast speeds in 90 cities.
Jamie Foxx here for Sprint, also just as fast.
You're not fooling nobody with this.
How many cities did Sprint win?
4. And in 55 cities, Sprint was dead last.
I feel like we're faster.
I feel like you should read the chart.
Don't get fooled by cut rate networks. Get the best. And now get up to 4 free Samsung Galaxy phones, 4 lines, and 16 gigs for just $150. Only on Verizon.
Only Wendy's can make the Baconator. Because while some other guys use frozen beef from far away,
that's 9,429 miles away.
Wendy's only uses fresh beef from ranches close by.
So we don't have to freeze it.
Then add 6 strips of bacon, cooked fresh in an oven, never a microwave. Tossed with plenty of cheese, without a single veggie to get in the way.
Aww. Proving once and for all
that only Wendy's has the bacon and the Ater to make the Baconator.
Baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. A lot of Cub fans here in Denver this weekend. The weather has improved quite a bit from last night. It is game 2 of a weekend set. The Cubs and the Rockies. And welcome to Cubs baseball along with Jim DeShays. I'm Len Casper. A wild, crazy Coors Field kind of night last night as the Rockies won late in the 11th inning. Cubs have been so good defensively, but they struggled a bit late in the ballgame.
Yeah, game-winning run came home on an error. Actually, the Rockies took advantage of a couple of errors to score runs. That hasn't happened very often this year for the Cubs early in the ballgame. Chris Bryant with a heck of a play with the glove. But the throw was in the dirt. Anthony not able to bail him out, and Descalso comes home with an unearned run.
Now this would end up being a double, and a ball Chris may have said to you, yeah, I should make that play. As the Rockies came back against the Cubs bullpen to tie it with 3 runs in regulation late. And then in the 11th inning, Ryan Rayburn off Aroldis Chapman, RBI double to score the tying run. He got to second before the Baez throw. That's key because you get 2 bases on a throw that goes out of play. He crosses the plate. Rockies win, and one of just 5 teams the Cubs have played this year with a winning record against the Cubs.
Yeah, and some of that can be fixed. We go to San Diego after this trip. Still 2 games remaining with the Rockies tonight and tomorrow. And, of course, plenty left with the Cardinals as well.
So some firsts tonight in terms of the starting pitching matchup. Mike Montgomery, the left-hander, will make his first start as a Cub. He's in for John Lackey. And Jeff Hoffman, a right-hander, will make his major league debut for the Rockies.
Montgomery made 16 starts with the Mariners last year. 2 starts with them just prior to being traded over to the Cubs this season. He's got a starting pitcher's mix, fastball, curve, slider, and change. Hoffman, a power arm, right-hander, just 23 years of age, a former #1 pick. He's got very good stuff. The Rockies very high on their young right-hander.
This Western Division's been tough on the Cubs. The Cubs are 11-10 against the National League West, and again 1-3 against the Rockies. Game 2 of this series comes at you next.
Baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit mykiachicago.com to learn more.
Welcome to Honda. See anything you like? Yeah.
Now is the moment to get the Honda Civic you love, voted 2016 North American Car of the Year at the Honda Summer Clearance Event, going on.
Conor McGregor, the real money fight is me.
I'm just the best there is, and that's it.
What are we gonna do? He'll do nothing. Oh! What a fight!
Conor got beat.
That's it! He's got the choke! I'm not surprised.
Better step it up for this one. Nate, rest up. The king is coming.
Oh! Conor McGregor! He slapped him! Nate Diaz! What a night, ladies and gentlemen!
The summer clearance event is here at Feeney Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin. Get our lowest prices on our entire inventory. Cars, trucks, minivans, and more Jeeps than we need. All with 0% financing available. Look at this 2016 Wrangler, just $299 a month. Or a 2016 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $299 a month. Both with zero due. Or this 2016 Dodge Caravan, only $16,997. Find it at Feeney, FeeneyAutos.com.
Hey there, everyone. Kelly Crawl back in our downtown Chicago studios. We'll get you right back out to Denver for the first pitch between the Cubs and Rockies in just a bit. Earlier in the week, I had a chance to catch up with tonight's Cubs starter, Mike Montgomery, and ask him how excited he is to make the spot start for the team this evening.
I understand the situation here of, you know, my role is going to be one that's probably going to be in the bullpen this year, and I'm fine with that. And it's, hey, you know, if a situation arises where they need a starter, I know I can do it. And so, you know, I think for me, you know, I'm just trying to be as valuable as I can to the team. And, you know, I think in this situation, they need a starter, and, you know, I'm ready to go. And, you know, I know how to prepare for it. I've done it. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I've been to Colorado. I haven't pitched there. And, you know, I'm definitely ready for the challenge. Just go out there and give the team some innings, you know, best I can. And, you know, I've been a starter my whole career and everything except this year. So, you know, I'll just go out there and try to put up as many zeros as I can until they take me out.
That'll do it from our downtown Chicago studios. Up next, a pair of debuts. This one right here, Jeff Hoffman making his major league debut. The righty acquired in the Troy Tulowitzki trade for the Rockies. He's ready to go, opposed by the man you just heard from, Mike Montgomery, making his debut as a starter for the Cubs. Great weather tonight in Denver. I'll see you after the game on Cubs Postgame Live. Right now, it's Cubs baseball coming your way on Comcast SportsNet.
DirecTV is at it again with another so-called deal. With a $60 intro rate that jumps to over $100 after just 3 months, then shoots up to over $150 after a year. The hits just keep on coming because you're locked into a 2-year contract that can cost over $3,300. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Switch to an X1 Double Play from Comcast and lock in your rate for 2 full years. Call or go online today.
Our mountains challenge us. Push us back. Knock us down. Tell us it can't be done. But then, one day you reach the summit, and you realize the harder the climb, the better the reward. Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on.
Know you can keep your financial big picture under control. Know you can see how much you have to spend and whether you should transfer funds. Know you can easily keep track of what you're putting away. And know you're budgeted for the great escape. Thanks to Virtual Wallet by PNC.
Sorry, the Cubs are down 2-0.
Anyway, what?
Red Hot Cubs looking for their 8th walk-off of the season.
At the Catman, never a dull moment on the north side. Hashtag Cubs Talk.
Cubs win, Cubs win. Hashtag Cubs Talk. Hashtag Go Cubs Go Time.
Dude, did you eat my food?
The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Dexter Fowler gets a hit, and he homered last night to start the game. Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. What kind of dessert are they cranking up there?
That's a chocolate fungo bat is what that is.
I like it. Beautiful evening here in Denver. Cubs and Rockies. Blue skies above. Temperatures have warmed considerably. We were at 53 degrees and dropping as we started last night. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. It will be Fowler, Bryant, Rizzo. You see what Chris has done on the road. That's a big change from his rookie season when he was a lot better at Wrigley Field. Zobrist, Russell, Soler in the middle. Miguel Montero gets the start back of the plate. Matt Caesar is in left. And Mike Montgomery, the pitcher, bats ninth.
Rockies defensively, it's brought to you by Arby's. They have Gold Glovers sprinkled around the diamond. Parra's won a couple. Gonzalez has won 3. Arenado's won 3 in a row. Adames, a shortstop, very good hands. LeMahieu, a Gold Glove winner a couple of years ago. Rayburn plays first tonight. Hundley's the catcher, and Alexis pursuing perfection. Starting pitcher is the young right-hander Jeff Hoffman. We got a major league debut here tonight. Hard-throwing right-hander. He'll flash 97 miles an hour. He'll go, sit comfortably 93, 94. Good running action down in the zone. Swing and miss slider. Also has a curveball and a developing changeup.
Here are your umpires. Ryan Blackney back at the plate. Alan Porter at first. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, at second. And John Tumpane over at third. Arenado in at third. And Hoffman's first major league pitch is a fastball at 93 for a strike. 93 to 97 on that fastball. Real good curveball. Don't know how much he'll use that here tonight.
And my scouting report had better slider than curveball, so we'll see.
76 degrees.
A little backdoor curveball didn't find the plate. He's as we mentioned, a first-round pick out of Eastern Carolina University. Grew up in the Albany, New York area.
A little high on the fastball. Well, he's not a max effort guy. He's pretty free and easy.
Big dude, 6'5", 225. Latham, New York, to be precise.
He is in for Tyler Chatwood, who is on the DL. Line shot, center field, base hit. So Binny's makes another contribution to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Dexter Fowler continues his fine work, leading off a ball game.
He stays on that two-seam fastball. Pings it into center. And put the young righty into the stretch.
Fowler into the game tonight was hitting .403 with a .482 on base percentage, leading off a ball game. Furthermore, last night both teams had leadoff homers. Fowler for the Cubs, Dahl for the Rockies. Did you know there were 5 leadoff homers in baseball last night?
I did not know that.
George Springer, Adam Jones, and that wild Astros-Orioles game. Bryant in the air, well hit, right center. On the warning track, it's caught. Dahl with the catch, Fowler back to first.
Well, he gave it a pretty good ride, did Chris Bryant in this ballpark with the light air. I'm thinking maybe it flies out of here. This is a ball there. Dexter could have decided to tag with a deep fly to that part of the ballpark. He would have been able to get to second base on the catch, but he wasn't sure it was going to be caught.
And it does get a little trickier because of the high wall out there. Previous years, that lower wall, more a chance of a catch or a home run. Jacoby Ellsbury also hit a leadoff homer. It was the first time in 10 years there were 5 leadoff homers on one day in the majors. Not a good pickoff attempt, but Rayburn able to dig it out.
At Baltimore, 4 of the first 5 hitters in the game went deep, and they still managed to lose.
Ed Hardig reporting. Last night was something that hadn't happened in Cubs history in 124 years. And that is a game featuring 2 leadoff home runs. September 29th, 1892, Jimmy Ryan of the Chicago National League Ball Club and Cincinnati's Bug Holiday.
Oh, Buggy, yeah.
That is way more leadoff homer information than you need, but I found it fascinating. 1-0 on Rizzo.
I find it surprising that it's been so rare.
2-0. We want to welcome all our viewers watching on La Harpe Video and Data Services in La Harpe, Illinois. Arenado basically playing short. Everybody else is over between first and second on the infield. Swing and a miss. Changed him up.
Yeah, good little change up there. Hundley, the catcher, a veteran, so he'll lead the way and calls for the changeup, and Hoffman throws a dandy. This could be a go pitch here for Fowler.
Hoffman has a sign. Fowler did not go. Bouncer to first. Rayburn, Adames, Hoffman. 3-6-1. They turn the double play, and that ends the inning.
Dear Chicago, let's take a trip out of Midway to your favorite international destinations. With love, Southwest.
The For Freedom sales event is on, and our biggest event of the year just got bigger. Just announced 0 for 72 on Ford F-Series, giving you freedom from interest. Plus, specially tagged pickups now get 1,000 smart bonus. America's best-selling trucks 39 years straight are built Ford tough. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on Ford F-Series. Plus, specially tagged trucks get 1,000 smart bonus cash.
I see a football with bat wings.
I see a wizard. That's his nose.
I see Lake Michigan.
Lake Superior.
Oh. Yeah. I'll give you that.
I see a wall.
Keep your walls looking like new with Platinum's No Prep, No Prime formula with easy clean, stain-resistant finish. Menards and Dutch Boy make transforming your world easy. Go Dutch.
Rockies Southwest starting lineup. They grabbed their first extra innings win this year last night. They had been the only National League team without one. Dahl in for Charlie Blackmon, who probably will not start at all this weekend. DJ LeMahieu at second. Nolan Arenado at third. Cargo is in right. He's been hot as of late. Rayburn the big hit in the 11th. Nick Hundley, the catcher. Parra in left. Adames plays short tonight. And Hoffman, the pitcher, batting ninth.
Cubs defensively, and it's brought to you by Arby's. Caesar Fowler, Soler. Cover this big outfield. Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo third to first. Miguel Montero, starting assignment behind the plate. And Alexis pursuing perfection starting pitcher is the 27-year-old left-hander Mike Montgomery. 4 and 5 with a 243. This is with Seattle and the Cubs. Made 7 appearances since joining the Cubs, all in relief. He's pitched to a 3.12 ERA out of the Cubs bullpen.
So he's in with Lackey on the DL. First pitch strike. The 9th starter the Cubs have used. They used only 5 through their first 83 games before Adam Warren started on July 6th. 1-1.
Mike made those 2 starts with Seattle back in July, one on the 10th, one on the 17th. So it's been a while, so not really stretched out.
He backed up Trevor Cahill in the first game of the Cubs doubleheader against Milwaukee on Tuesday afternoon. Cahill went 5 scoreless. Montgomery, couple of innings, gave up a hit, no runs, and we may very well see the reverse tonight. LeMahieu and Arenado to follow. Dahl, as I mentioned earlier, homered to start the first against Kyle Hendricks last night. The only run Hendricks allowed. And he said it took him a couple of innings to get comfortable, but was better later and got a tough no decision.
Yeah, you come into this ballpark, you pitch 6 innings of 1-run ball. You've exceeded expectations. It was a very nice effort from Kyle, who, when he wakes up tomorrow, will be leading the National League in ERA.
He'll be leading the majors.
Yeah. Course, yeah. He'll have a glow, he'll have an aura about him tomorrow. There's something about you, man. I'm not sure. You just look different today.
You look like a league leader in something. Ball 4. Well, one of the keys from the pitching coach was don't walk people.
Yeah, bad things can happen in this ballpark when you put men on base. The good news is that Mike has been an extreme ground ball pitcher, and he's tough to run on being left-handed. So we'll see. LeMahieu, a real good hit and run candidate, makes tremendous contact, moves the ball all around the diamond.
Or Soler is playing really deep and right.
Yeah, I noticed that last night. And last night he was as well.
You talk to people about Coors Field, and they say right field, visiting players tend to play too deep. You got that high wall there. A lot of hits fall in front of the outfielders here. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
The Cubs have committed to playing deeper in the outfield this year. We've talked a lot about it as the season has rolled along. Are willing to give up base hits to take away extra base hits, and I guess that's probably why Soler is as deep as he is, so he has an angle to try to cut a ball off in the gap. But I'm with you. I think he could probably move in a little bit.
Fowler drifting back. And just in front of the 415, he makes the catch. Dahl trying to tag, and he will be out. Dexter Fowler. And Addison Russell, that's an 8-6 double play.
Fowler, he's wise to Dahl there. He's getting set up behind that ball, gets off a good strong one-hop throw, and looks like they got him. I think there's going to be a challenge coming from the Rocky dugout. Oof. Oh man, that's close. Not a bad play by Dahl to tag and try to get into scoring position there. Fowler made a heck of a play on him.
Arenado on the ground to Russell, and the inning is over. After 1, scoreless.
Monday night, Zobrist, Rizzo, Myers, Ramirez. Cubs Padres beginning at 8:30 with Cubs pregame live presented by Fields Auto on CSN.
Welcome to Wrigley Field. And it is gone! We're tied! Rizzo gets on the top. He makes a catch. Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win!
$1 window siding and door installation, 102 Pine Street.
Let's go, guys.
It's Feldco to the rescue with $1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors. Plus no money down and no interest until 2018. It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year.
That's $1.
$1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors.
Hurry, $1 installation ends Labor Day. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
It's a golden opportunity to discover that in a Lexus SUV, there are no adverse conditions.
Blue skies smiling at me.
Nothing but blue skies do I see.
Blue days, all of them gone.
For a limited time, get some of our best offers of the year at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the 2016 RX 350 for $419 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Your home, your auto. They just go together. Combine your home and auto insurance with State Farm. Save time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to your State Farm agent today.
A reminder, Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm.
And you walk around downtown Denver these last couple of days, and all you see is blue.
Yeah. Feels like downtown Chicago for sure. Ben Zobrist to lead it off against the rookie Hoffman. A little bit wide for ball one. You mentioned Hoffman from Latham, New York. He went undrafted out of high school, although the Cubs had an interest in signing him as a free agent. Led his Shaker High School team to its first ever state championship as a senior. And then off to East Carolina. Said his coach called him Bones when he got there. He was so skinny, but by the time he left, he earned the nickname Meat. High fly into the right field corner. And caught by Gonzalez. Major hang time on that fly ball as Zobrist was almost at second base when Cargo hauled it in. He was battling the sun a little bit too.
And I don't think he was exactly sure how much room he had. Probably could have stayed on his feet and made the play, but it was getting tight.
That'll bring up Russell. Banged a two-run homer last night. Number 15. Takes a strike. Yeah, so Hoffman, he gained about 30 pounds in college.
Gained some velocity too.
Yes.
It's that ice cream in the calf.
Right.
Gets everybody.
He was a 9th overall pick in 2014, the highest draft pick in East Carolina University history in any major sport. He had Tommy John surgery a month before that draft. That definitely not only hurt his arm, but his draft standing. Some thought he might have been a top 3 pick, and the Rockies did consider him for their first pick, which was 8th overall. Eventually they grabbed a left-hander named Kyle Freeland instead, and Hoffman was taken with the next selection by the Blue Jays.
Now they got them both.
Yep.
Freeland may be here soon.
LeMahieu will get Russell. 2 down.
Cub fans, let's go. Tickets are still available for the Cubs' upcoming homestand. Features matchups with the Reds and Giants. Don't miss any action during the stretch run. Visit Cubs.com to get your tickets today.
Here's Jorge Soler. Plan is Jason Hayward. Get this whole weekend off. That'll be 4 in a row. He did not play on Thursday against the Brewers. Might see him late for defense. More of a mental break than anything. So Soler is in right tonight with Caesar in left, as we saw last night. Inside.
Yeah, it's interesting, Joe making this decision to rest Hayward now, and it's clearly Joe just got to the point where he said this guy needs, to step away a little bit, to relax, to ease his mind, because normally this is the last place you would want to have Jason out of the lineup because of the big outfield. He's such a good outfielder.
The 2-1 is a strike, and it's 2-2.
And one of the things, the many things a manager has to consider as he's prepping for a series, and so there's a competitive advantage to having Hayward in the lineup because of his defense. But big picture, Joe just felt like he needs some time away.
Montero on deck. Payoff pitch called strike 3. That is his first career strikeout. 0-0 after an inning and a half.
I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious. Some thrive on comedy. I've sailed upon the 7 seas and stopped in every land. I've seen the wonders of the world, not yet one common man. I know 10,000 women called Jane and Mary Jane. I've not seen any two who really were the same. Mirror twins are different, although their features jibe, and lovers think quite different thoughts while lying side by side. I note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
Here come the last of the 2016s.
I love this part. Stylish Prius, sporty Camry, fun Corolla, adventurous RAV4, they're all here. But not for long.
Right now, get incredible 0% APR financing on 11 of Toyota's most popular models, like the 2016 Camry, Corolla, RAV4, or Prius during Toyota's annual clearance event.
Come in and get the 2016 Toyota you want before they are gone.
Toyota, let's go places.
The Chicago Sports Museum voted one of Chicago's best museums. Combines high-tech interactive experiences with unique game-used treasures. Admission is free when you dine next door at Harry Carey's restaurant. For more information, visit chicagosportsmuseum.com. Another big crowd and a lot of Cub fans.
Rockies averaging 32,000 and change per game here. Well, we're up over 40 here last night. Hey, there's an Expo fan.
Carlos Gonzalez to start it. 2 hits in the opener. First pitch from Montgomery is inside for ball 1. Cubs starters collectively have not lost in 18 consecutive games. All wins and no decisions.
Mike appreciates the opportunity to get this start here tonight. I think he views himself as a starter, and that's what he would like to do in the future. It's kind of a bit of a losing proposition because in all likelihood he's not going to pitch enough innings to qualify for a W here tonight.
He gets his first punch out tonight. And he fans Gonzalez.
Yeah, he throws hard. You know, he can get 96, averages 92, 93. He got good cut fastball. And, you know, from outing to outing, when you watch him pitch, sometimes his best secondary pitch is the curveball. Other times it's that cutter.
There's a curve that missed outside to Rayburn, who had the biggest hit of the game last night, the double, on which he would score the winning run after the throwing error by Baez. Boy, a lot of just bad things combined to kill the Cubs on that particular play, as Javi's throw was up the third base line. Contreras was trying to knock it down and ended up deflecting it into the dugout. Nicely done, Addison Russell. 2 outs.
Pretty play. Ranging to his left, keeps that glove low throughout. Great balance. Able to get into a throwing position in a hurry to get Rayburn.
Hundley on that double scored the game tying run. So he singled off Chapman right in front of the big hit by Rayburn. Cubs lead in the division is 12. Going into action tonight over the Cardinals. They're in Philadelphia, tied at 2 as they go to the 5th inning. The 1-2 on the Rockies catcher is fouled away. Reds have caught the Brewers for 4th place, and they're pounding the Dodgers 7-0 tonight in the 4th inning in Cincinnati. Reds have been good here in the second half.
They have been. But they got no chance to get on the NL Central podium.
Hundley strikes out. That's a 1-2-3 for Montgomery, who has been sharp early.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin, legendary sportscaster Steve Stone.
And I know the right team knows how to win, like Howard Ankin Law Office.
If you or someone you know needs help with an injury case, I'm here to help. Please give me a call.
Put Howard's number in your phone right now, 312-6-million.
One swing can be the ultimate game changer. And at T-Mobile, we've changed the game by doubling our LTE coverage, so you can stream baseball free without using your data on MLB TV. T-Mobile, that's Major League coverage.
Hey, your clearance. Yes, sir. You know, at the Model Year-End Clearance event, you can get a great deal on this 2016 Passat.
Steve.
Yeah.
Clarence is on a roll.
Yeah. Wish they'd name an event after me.
Same here. But the Model Year-End Becky event?
That's no good. Steve-ent.
That's just vandalism.
Whatever you want to call it, don't miss the Volkswagen Model Year-End event. Hurry in and lease a 2016 Passat S for $169 a month after a $1,000 bonus.
You've heard of a pack of wolves, the pride of lions, a murder of crows. Well, we call this a rumble of Dodges. When you call one, you call them all.
Get $3,500 combined cash allowance plus $500 bonus cash or 0% APR for 60 months on the 2016 Dodge Grand Caravan.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Visit the Cubs Authentics auction page every week for your chance to own one-of-a-kind game-used Cubs items. This week's auction includes jerseys from the 1981 throwback game from August 6th. Go to Cubs.com/authentics Before Sunday night at 8 p.m. to place your bid, the Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
And make sure you follow In Game Live on CSNChicago.com, presented by State Farm. Miguel Montero getting the start, batting 7th tonight. Hoffman's first pitch is fouled back to the screen. Early impressions of the rookie making his debut.
Well, yeah, he looks pretty calm out there. I'm sure he's not. He's been able to remain pretty steady out there. He's got good lively heater. Pitch that stands out to me right now is that 2-0 changeup he threw Rizzo.
Yep. I agree.
He's been pretty fastball heavy, and that's the beauty when you got a power arm like that and you come up, you're a little jittery, and sometimes it's tough to have feel for the off-speed pitches, and you just attack with plus velocity.
What do you remember the most about your major league debut as a Yankee?
Not being able to feel my legs
really
when I was on the mound. Oh, it's the most nerve-wracking experience in the world. And then there was a long rain delay after we got started. That stands out. And then a long Harold Baines home run stands out.
Okay.
And then Nicky Priori, the clubhouse guy, not giving me a uniform for the second game of the doubleheader stands out. It's like, I'm a rookie. You're not supposed to say anything. I don't have a uniform. And I mentioned it to him. Hey, Nick, I don't have a uniform. Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it, kid. So, okay. So I'm hanging out. I'm like sitting there in my locker. The second game's about to start.
Foul tip, strike 3. That doesn't feel very big league. I have a uniform.
No, it was like the clubhouse guy just kind of saying, you're below me on the totem pole. You might be a big league player, but you just got here, pal. And if my memory serves me right, I actually put my street clothes on and went and hung out in the camera well and watched the second game of the doubleheader.
You buried the lead. That's the most interesting part of the whole story. 1-0 on Matt Caesar. Yeah, Rob Zastryzny last night, along with Felix Pena, each with a scoreless inning in their major league debuts. I talked to him today for radio. He said it was great. He said, car picks us up at the airport, driving in. We go right by the ballpark, and I look over and I think, man, I'm going to be playing there in a few hours. Staying at the nicest hotel I've ever seen. I get on the team bus. I see all these big leaguers, and I'm introducing myself, and they're all saying, yeah, Rob, we know who you are. Welcome. Congrats. He was just blown away by all of it. Broken bat grounder to short. Adames gets Caesar. He said Anthony Rizzo could not pronounce his last name. He said, I'm going to call you Big Red. There's so many guys on this team with Z as a part of their name. I don't know if you can just drop Z on them.
Yeah, but Zobrist is easy to pronounce. So by default, Rob becomes Z.
I guess, yeah. Zo.
There you go, Zo.
Riz.
But there's a bigness to the big leagues that the minor leagues just doesn't approach. Big stadiums, we talk a lot about third deck syndrome when guys first get to the big leagues. There's a sense of awe. Big crowds, everything that goes around with being a big leaguer, the media and all the attention, especially with a franchise like the Cubs. It can be very daunting for a young player. I don't think in the other sports it's quite the leap, right? Because if you play major college football or big-time college basketball, you've been exposed to some of that, whereas you've come up through the minor leagues of baseball, you haven't.
Line shot caught by Arenado. Montgomery 0 for 4 to start his major league career, and we are still scoreless.
This is it. the Hyundai Act Fast sales event, where you can get a deal for the ages on a car or SUV that offers all the latest technology, and the warranty is America's best. It's go time.
Act fast today and lease the Tucson for $139 a month, or the Santa Fe Sport for $159 a month.
It's good.
Yeah.
Vanilla?
French vanilla.
If you feel like singing a song and you want other people to sing along, just sing what you feel. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. When there's a light, what light? When there's a light, what light? When there's a light, white light.
You ever feel like you're spinning? Like you're stuck in the same place in life? Just going round and round and round? Yeah, man. Been there.
No, actually spinning.
Oh, we can fix that by going to Midas. They have a great selection of tires. Sorry, Doug. I thought you were trying to get deep.
Nah.
Trust the Midas Touch for tires, brakes, oil, everything.
Every night, get ready for the most dynamic show in Chicago. Your city, your teams, your show. This is SportsNet Central tonight after post-game live, presented by GMC.
Here's your upcoming game schedule brought to you by PNC. This is the whole road trip. 9-gamer. Played one last night. We're playing game 2 here tonight. 7 to follow, including getaway day tomorrow. Off day Thursday. Montgomery, his 3rd inning of work. Leadoff walk, got that double play. The 8-6 twin killing, so he's faced the minimum through 2.
A big play by Fowler, not only to keep the man out of scoring position, but to save some bullets for Montgomery as he tries to go as far as possible in this game here tonight.
Parra 0 for 5 in the opener. Didn't find the outfield all night in any of his at-bats. Did make a nice diving catch out and left. Which is where he's playing again tonight. He was originally slated last night to make his debut at first. But then Charlie Blackmon was scratched with the toe injury. A couple of bounces to Zobrist. He and Addison Russell taking some ground balls before the game with Gary Jones.
Now, Cubs haven't been hitting on the field. It's been optional, and a lot of it's been going on in the cage, so the infielders like to come out and make sure they get some ground balls. Stay in rhythm. 6 out of 8 first pitch strikes for Montgomery. 6 of 7.
Adames takes a strike. He's a switch batter.
Glove man, real good hands, good defender. Has not done much with the bat. Been good in the pinch, however.
Including last night. Pinch hit, single, and a run in the 8th.
Mike was a supplemental pick after the first round, 2008, by the Kansas City Royals. Traded along to Tampa, then to Seattle. There's a good curveball.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Tuesday, August 30th. Cubs play the Buccos. First pitch is at 7:05, and up to the first 10,000 early arriving adults 21 and over receive Cubs wine cork sunglasses, pictured there, presented by Barefoot Wine. Tickets are still available for the game. Visit Cubs.com today.
First career plate appearance for Hoffman. And Montgomery went to Hart High School, Newhall, California. Committed to Cal State Fullerton before signing with the Royals for just under $1 million. Real good basketball player in high school, but I guess he got kicked off the team. Too many technical fouls.
Is that right?
Yeah. Pretty fierce competitor. 2-1.
Good cheddar there. That high school has produced a lot of talent. Todd Zeal, James Shields, Trevor Bauer, Bob Walk, Tyler Glasnow.
Kevin Millar, I think. Is he on your list?
He is. Joe Cap.
Yeah. Nicely done, Montgomery. Through 3, has not allowed a hit.
Discover Kia's quality at the Top Quality Sales Event. We're celebrating with great deals on the sleek Optima and Optima Hybrid, as well as the Forte Sedan and Hatchback. Right now, get 0% APR for up to 66 months plus $1,000 bonus cash, or 0 down, 0 due at signing, and 0 first month's payment on select models. Visit Kia.com to see how Kia quality performed against the competition. The Kia Top Quality Sales Event.
In the beginning, there was the original White Castle chicken ring. And now we're introducing the new pretzel chicken ring. Made with delicious all-white meat, they're crispy, shareable, and extremely dippable. The ring is the thing. In fact, it's everything.
Yeah, it's everything.
Mission accomplished. I ordered ahead. Pickup for Mike.
20 chicken rings for just $4.99. Only at White Castle.
Everyone's selling mattresses these days.
And for crazy money, $2,000, $3,000.
Crazy.
Get what you want without breaking the bank at My Bob's Discount Furniture.
The luxury of pure Bobopedic memory foam, super firm innerspring support, super plush innerspring bounce, or a hybrid mix.
4 different queen-size mattress sets, only $5.99 each.
Anticipation Eurotop or Firm, the Bobopedic 9 or Bobopedic 9 Hybrid.
An untouchable $5.99 each, only at My Bob's Discount Furniture.
Wednesday, Chicago Fire Soccer takes over CSN Plus as the men in red hit the pitch for a big test against Western Power LA. Fire versus LA Galaxy. Wednesday at 7 on CSN Plus.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Cub fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Ran into a few Cub fans strolling about today. Everyone I talked to stayed here for the entire ball game last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Woodstock. There were 9 million people. You know what? There were a lot of Cub fans here at the very end.
Yeah. And they had their hearts broken, but it's the beauty of baseball. Here we are, the very next day, chance for redemption. The ball is outside. Now Ryan Blackney has a chance for redemption. And try that changeup again.
Dexter Fowler, 14th round pick of the Rockies, 2004, out of Milton, Georgia, and a base hit. He's 2 for 2, and he's going to hold with a single. 2 hits in the ball game, and he has them both.
One to center, this one to right center. This is probably more than any other park because of how spacious it is. You really have to, quote unquote, respect 90. Go hard down the first base line. Chance to take an extra base. Any kind of little misplay. And a lot of times outfielders have to travel far to run down those singles.
Long pause from the set position, and time eventually called. Bryant hitting .440 over his last 12 games, 22 out of 50 coming in, and he just missed a home run last time. Throw gets away. Fowler on his way to third. And an aggressive turn. He's going to stay there. The two-base error.
Yeah. And almost a three-base error. He was thinking about it. Gary Jones threw up the stop sign. Rayburn's got to catch that ball.
Well, now the error is charged to Hoffman, but you're right. I think it was more on Rayburn. Rockies will play their infield back. Runner at third, nobody out. Time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. 2013 draft. See Chris Bryant leading the field by a pretty wide margin to this point.
Not too many of those guys have reached the big leagues yet. The guy picked right behind him in that draft is here, John Gray.
He will not pitch this weekend. Tim Anderson, the White Sox, 17th overall. There's John Gray. Corey Knebel, just saw him. Mike Lorenzen. Sean Manaea. Cubs faced him on the last trip.
Not many position players, though. The number one pick that year, Mark Appel. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
One, two to Chris. Low and outside. Chance to strike first here. Runner at third, nobody out. And serve foul by a few feet to right.
Fought off a tough pitch. Often gets good action on that two-seam fastball in on right-handed hitters. Able to move the ball off the barrel in towards the hands with action. There were 2 strikes, a man on third. Priority of putting the ball in play. You're going to try to wait a little bit longer so you don't get fooled by that breaking pitch.
Pitch number 7 of the sequence, and it's full.
It's such a good take, and we've seen it so much from Chris, especially late. This good groove he's in. That's a high anxiety situation, right? 2 strikes, man on third base, trying to drive in a run. That pitch is going to get a chase from a lot of hitters. It's going to go change up to the righty.
Another 3-2 and another foul. That's 9 pitches, 6 foul balls in this at bat.
Overall, the numbers for Hoffman at AAA this year don't really grab your attention. 6 and 9 with a 4.02, but a great percentage of those starts were really good. He had 3 really bad ones, inflating that earned run average. And of course, when you pitch in the PCL, you're likely to have a high ERA anyway.
To the plate, ground ball. Into right. Cubs lead 1-0. Chris does not hit ground balls in that area very often.
Well, that was just the commitment to trying to be quick to the ball, not over swinging. What a battle. What a great at bat. Hoffman made a lot of quality pitches throughout that sequence, including that one right there. We've seen Bryant lately pick the ball off the ground and get base hits, break his bat and get base hits. This time he nudges one through that hole on the right side. Not really trying to hit it in that direction. He was just trying to make solid contact. That's a great AB.
Still nobody out. Cubs get the first run tonight. Ball 1 on Rizzo. And usually you score first, you win. Cubs are 53-14 when they score the first run.
So often it's the first run and the second run and the third run that they score, either putting up a crooked number or adding on.
Ground ball, that's a base hit. Put the ball in play. Gave you the numbers last night. You're a better hitter by 30 points if you just put a ball in play in this ballpark than you are anywhere else.
Yeah, I read a study one time that said that there was like an 18% increase in velocity or something to that effect in the light air. This is well struck. And again, Bryant so good at going first to third. Again, and one of the reasons why he's a good fit in front of Rizzo in the batting order.
3 consecutive singles to start this 4th inning. Second time through the order, and a lot tougher to navigate for Hoffman. Zobrist flying to the warning track. In his first at bat, he didn't start last night. He did play late. 0 for 1 with a walk. That could score 2. Bryant is in. Rizzo's going to be stopped. 2-0.
The Cub hitters have been aggressive early against Hoffman, trying to take advantage of his aggressive approach, challenging early. It's a 2-seam fastball, outer third, up a little bit, whacked into the gap in right center by Zobrist. Single, 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 double. Great play here by Dahl, leaving his feet to cut that ball off. Otherwise, Rizzo scores.